So, my name is Izabela and I'm a second grade student of Wilnie's Jana Pawła II Gimnazjum. I love learning new things and I always strive for knowledge as it helps me to understand the world better. Since my early childhood, I've been always interested in natural sciences. My dream field of study is medical biology or biomedical engineering. To my mind, those disciplines in an ever-developing world are extremely needed and would revolutionize it in the nearest future, as with the increase of various types of diseases, opportunities are being solved to treat them effectively. I want to continue the work of well-known scientists such as Stephen Hawking, about whom I wrote in my essay, and I'm constantly trying to change the world for the better place to live. I believe visiting Stanford University as well as the Research Institute or the global companies would have a powerful impact on me as I'm planning to study abroad in the future. And I would like to learn more about innovative projects that are being implemented by today's scientists. However, I would like you to get to know me not only as a person who concentrates on his career, but also is actively involved in social activities, which I would like to show you at the moment. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we see.
Okay.
Project, social activities.
Yeah. So ever since I started attending the middle school, I've been actively involved in Students' Council. This year I became vice president and I contributed to a number of many various projects which were implemented by our school council. We want to create it not only as a place where students sit 8 hours straight every single day, but also create a ground of self-realization and fulfillment of their own ambitions. 2 months ago, our school took part in Action Wheel of Forest, as well as we all know, one of the biggest environmental projects is deforestation, since it can cause damage to natural habitats or soil erosion. I contributed to the action by collecting money from our school government, which was later used to buy and plant trees. Together we managed to collect 154 trees, and soon they were planted in one of the districts of Vilnius. On the occasion of 8th March, which is the Day of Women's Solidarity, I had the special honor of being host of the meeting with Minister of Justice of the Republic of Lithuania, Ewelina Dobrowolska. On the conversation where we talked about issues, including those related to politics and rights of the minorities in Lithuania. Then I attended the Assembly of the Lithuanian Student Union, which was about 2 months ago. It was organized by Lithuanian Student Union, which is the biggest organization whose main goal is to represent students, educating them on issues relevant to them, uniting them to communities, cooperating with state and non-state institutions, and creating a perfect student community. At the meeting, I, together with hundreds of students from all over Lithuania, could not only discuss what projects we need to implement in schools in Lithuania so that students feel good there and can develop their interests as much as possible, but also we elected a new board for the organization. One of the projects in which I was able to take part last year was the Erasmus Plus project. Together with students from my class, we went to Śmigiel near Poznań, where we spent time with students from France, Romania, Lithuania, and of course, Poland. It was a great opportunity not only to develop language skills, but also a driver to develop myself and reflect on my own career path. Frankly speaking, changing the world takes time and I want to start it now. I strongly believe that visiting Silicon Valley as well as Stanford University and global companies such as Google, Facebook, or LinkedIn would have a powerful impact on me. I will get an opportunity to communicate with other people from all over the world and broaden my knowledge of the topics which I associate with my future. Above all, however, it would be a key driver for me to move forward.
Okay, Izabela, I guess that's all in terms of your presentation, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now let's move to the second stage, which would be the Q&A session with the member of the commission. So let me start first with my question. In your essay, you said about Stephen Hawking and your
Yes.
big interest in physics and astronomy. While in the motivation letter, you said that it is likely that biology and biomedical engineering is something you want to develop. So what did you find so interesting in the latter era that your heart was kind of stolen by those majors, and it seems that this is going to be your direction rather than physics and astronomy?
Well, studying biology is connected with finding proper ways of describing the reality and developing tools that will solve our humanity problems. For example, treating many of the diseases. However, my passion in astronomy is still in my heart. I read lots of books of astronomy, and I learn about biographies of those physics or scientists. For example, Stephen Hawking, about whom I wrote about.
Okay. Question number two. You said also that you are involved in many different projects.
Yes.
So name the project which you are the most proud of, and what is the best learning you got out of it?
Well, I've been involved in Erasmus Plus project, which took me a week in Poland and some days online, where we could speak to people by our electronic devices. Well, this year I participate in a competition of Poland's history. I'm on second stage and I'm ready for the final, which is being organized in the end of June, I guess. I'll go to Warsaw and I will have to show my everything I know about history of Poland. I'm really proud of it because there were lots of participants. There were also projects held here in Lithuania to the minorities of Poles. For example, autographic competition where I got second place, or others, for example, those where I created movies about Adam Mickiewicz or Słowacki and other well-known Poles.
Okay, that's all from me. So Zbigniew, would you mind sharing?
Thanks for presentation. My question is, what do you plan in your life? You told that you would like to be a scientist or the practitioner after the graduating this study which you would like to apply. What is your aim for life?
Well, my aim is to study biology or medicine, as I'm really into it. I love that kind of science. I love learning new things, and I want to help people to treat their diseases they are fighting with. I know that there are lots of which are there are still coming new diseases in our modern world, and I want to solve that case. I want to find the ways how to come up with all of this.
Okay, and where do you want to work in the future?
In the future, as I said, I would like to work among other scientists. If I become a doctor, I would love to work in a hospital or other medical corporations, I guess. If I decide to become, for example, a biotechnologist, I would like to work in laboratory and create some new projects also related to biology or chemistry.
In which region of the world?
Again?
Where in the world?
Where in the world? It would be a great pleasure to do it in the United States. However, if it does not, I would love to work in Poland.
Okay, thanks.
Kamil, can you ask your questions, please?
Isa, thank you for the presentation and great answers. You are a very talented person. My question is about changing your life. If you meet a person that would change your life and you had only 15 seconds to convince this person to talk to you longer. Two questions. First one, who is this person?
This person, first of all, it's my mom or my dad, both of my parents, I guess, because they have always driven me to go forward and not to give up and to achieve comparable results to those scientists who I mentioned, to fight for myself and to just achieve my goal I set for myself in my life.
But I mean, you imagine going for the trip. You are now in Silicon Valley and you meet someone. Can you name the person who would like to meet to change your life for the future?
Oh, it would be probably a teenager my age or a scientist whom I meet there. However, I would love to ask him some questions about how are all of these projects going on, how do you solve all of those questions? And if I meet a teenager of my age, I would ask him, what are you mostly interested into? What are your passions, are your hobbies? And what do you want to achieve in your life? So probably those questions.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let me ask one last question. If you are chosen as a candidate and you go to the Silicon Valley, yes, how you like to share your experience with your colleagues, with your friends, with your society? Do you have a plan?
Well, yes, I do. First of all, I would like to share that experience in my school among my science teachers. I would like to tell them what I've knew there about the projects or innovations which are held, which are being working in. I would like to share my experience also with students. I would encourage them to go abroad to see what is going on there, see what cases are being solved at the moment. And for example, held some, I don't know, meetings where I would share my experience.
Okay. Okay, so now the feedback session. Zbigniew, would you mind sharing your thoughts about Izabela's presentation?
We can't hear you, Zbigniew.
Yeah, I had a lot of ideas, but I'm seeing that you should precise what your aim, because until that moment we have had many activities which were on very different spheres. It's very positive, but sometimes you will need to more focus on your aims, which is your study, which you will choose. Thanks.
Kamil?
Isa, if you were 10 years older, I would say you could have been more specific about your plans for the future and interests. But when I realized what I was thinking when I was your age, I think you still are very specific. So congratulations, you're a very talented person, but
thank you.
You are in tough competition here.
Yes, indeed. My feedback for you is that I liked the flow of communication with yourself. It was really nice. I had an impression a little bit that you might have been reading your speech. Maybe I got it wrong, but it sounded like, it looked like a little bit. So my piece of advice for you for future kind of interviews is to get better preparation from that perspective. But congratulations on qualification for the second round. Thank you very much for your presentations, and good luck.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Bye.